Hello, everybody. So in today's lesson 7.9, we're on page 377 of the second grade Go Math textbook. And today our lesson is telling time to the nearest 5 minutes. So how do you tell time and show time to 5 minutes? So I'm going to give you three scenarios or situations, and I want you to draw the hour hand and the minute hand to show the time I give you. This is a review from lesson 7-8. Okay, so I do want you to pause the video, draw the hands in for each situation, and then restart the video to check your answers. So here's the first situation. So first situation goes here, then I'll give you another time, and in the third box, write the third time. All right. So Sophia goes to music at 10:30. She goes to music at 10:30. She goes to the playground at 11. And she eats lunch at 11:30. Okay? So I want you to draw the hour hand and the minute hand to represent those three times. So go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, so 10:30. You should have represented the minute hand as pointing straight at the 6. And 10:30, 11. So 10:30. 11 o'clock. So anything 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, that all means that the minute hand is pointing directly at the 12. So 11 o'clock, the minute hand, the hour hand is pointing directly at the 11. Okay. And 11:30. So that's halfway past 11 or 30 minutes past 11. So the minute hand again is pointing directly at the 6. And the hour hand is in between 11 and 12. Okay. So is that what your clocks basically look like? Okay. 10:30, 11, 11:30. Let's look at piece 378. All right. What does it mean when the minute hand points to the 7? Okay. So we know that when it points to the 6, that's 30 minutes. Well, each little tick mark on a clock is 1 minute. So 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So from one number to the next is 5 minutes. We talked about that in our last lesson. So we can even just point at it. If it's pointing at the 1, it's 5. If it's pointing at the 2, that's 10. If it's pointing at the 3, 15. If it's pointing at the 4, 20. If it's pointing at 5, 25. If it's pointing at 6, 30. 7, 35. 8, 40. 9, 45. 10, 50. 11, 55. And back to the 12 would be 60 or the next hour. Okay. 60, we don't write 60 minutes. We write it as 0. Okay. Because that represents a new hour. All right. So this clock is in between 10 and 11. So it's 10:35 because the 7 means 7, 5, which is worth 35. Okay. So look at the clocks and write the time. So it's past 3, but it hasn't reached 4. So 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 3:25. And so, again, we can write it in to show it. Okay. So don't be afraid to just write those right in on next to the clock. Okay. Until you get good at counting the numbers. Okay. Here, don't get confused. Okay. The hour hand's pointing at just past the 9. Okay. It's just reached the 9 and is slightly past it. So the hour has to be 9 and it's pointing at the first number. Okay. So that's 5. 12 is represented as 00. So 5. 9:05. Here, it's past, the hour hand's past the 11, hasn't reached 12. So 11, and now let's count these. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So 11:40. Okay, number 4. The hour hand has passed the 12, hasn't reached the 1. So it's 12. Okay, and then we know that that's 0. So the 1 is 5, the 2 is 10, the 3 is 15, the 4 is 20, the 5 is 25, the 6 is 30, 7 is 35, 8 is 40, 9 is 45, 10 is 50. Okay, so 10 fives is 12 or 50 minutes. Okay, 10 fives. Here, the hour hand's slightly past the 7, and it's on the 3. So 5, 10, 15. 7, 15. Number 6. Okay, now this one could be tricky. Okay, so it looks like it's at 6 o'clock, right? But if that's true, then the minute hand would be pointing at the 12. Okay, so in other words, the minute hand had gone all the way around and is almost at the next hour. So let me show you on the clock what it looked like. Okay, so they started at 5 o'clock. Okay, and then they went 5:05, 5:10, 5:15, 5:20, 5:25, 5:30, 5:35. Okay, and remember, it's pointing at the 11. The minute hand's pointing at the 11. So let's keep moving the minute hand around to the 11. What's happening to the hour hand? It's getting closer and closer to 6. It hasn't touched 6. Okay, so it looks like it's at 6, but it's got 5 more minutes to 6. So this is 6:55. Okay, because we can actually even go backwards. 60 minutes an hour, 55, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Okay, so this is not 6:55, it's 5:55. Okay. All right, let's look at 379. All right, so it's past 6, hasn't reached 7. How much is this? Well, we don't always have to start at 5, 10, and 15, okay? We know that the 6 is worth 30. It's halfway past. So we can start counting by 5s right from 30. 30, 35, 40. 6, 40. Okay, don't forget the colon. Okay, number 8. 9. Okay, what's the 4 worth? 5, 10, 15, 20. 9, 20. Past the 4, hasn't reached the 5. 4, and it's pointing at the 6. So 4:30. Okay, again, we know anything pointing at the 6 is 30 minutes. Okay, here we've passed the 2, almost to 3. Haven't reached there yet. So I'm going to start here at 30, rather than counting all the way around. 30, 35, 40, 45. 2, 45. Okay, here, just slightly past 10. It's just started moving towards 11. So it's 10. And we know that the 2 5s is 10. So 10, 10. Okay, the hour hand's in between 8 and 9. So 8. And again, we know that 6 is 30. So one more 5, 35. All right, number 13, we have to draw the time in based on the time on the digital clock. They've given us the hour hand. We have to find the minute. 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it's got to point at a 5. 150. So they've got the hour hand drawn in for us. We need to find 50. Again, I told you that 12 is 60, and we represent it with zeros. Okay. If I take 60 and go backwards 5, 55 is the 11, and the 10 is 50. So the minute hand has to be pointing at the 10. And 5:05. So it's slightly past 5, and we know the first number is 5. Right? 5:05. And 380. Draw the clock hands to show the time, then write the time. So my hour hand points between 8 and 9. Between 8 and 9. So it's 8. In 35 minutes, it will be the next hour. Okay, so now it's a little tricky. In 35 minutes. So what we're going to have to do, I would recommend, is count backwards 35 minutes. Okay. All right. So in 35 minutes, it will be the next hour. I want to go ahead and just write the numbers in, and then I'll count back. All right. Now, so if it was at 8 o'clock, the minute hand would be pointing at the 12, right? So for it to get to 9, it's got to go all the way around, right? But it says it's got to take 35 minutes till it'll get to that hour. So 35 minutes before 9. So let's just count backwards 35 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, so the minute hand is pointing at the 5. And it's in between 8 and 9. So 8:25. Now let's see if this is true. In 35 minutes, it will be the next hour. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, let's use our little clock. I'm going to put it at 8:25. Okay, I'm going to count forward 35 minutes. Let's see if the hour hand reaches the 9. Okay, there's 5. There's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So we did. We reached 9 o'clock, right? So 8:25 is the correct time. All right, how many minutes does it take for the minute hand to travel around the clock from 12 to 12? The minute hand from 12 to 12. Well, if you just count the hand minutes, how many minutes are in an hour? Every hour has 60 minutes. Okay, that's not even something we need to count. So this clock says 4 o'clock, and this clock says 5 o'clock. So that's a difference of an hour, right? So if it's an hour, it's 60 minutes. Can we prove that it's 60 minutes? Well, if we look at this clock, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 60 minutes. All right, and 18. Angel eats lunch at 12:45. Angel spent 10 minutes eating lunch. Draw the minute hand on the clock to show when Angel finished eating and write the time. So he finished eating at 12:45. Okay. So I'm going to just lightly draw when he finished. He finished right there. Okay. And then it took, oh, I'm sorry, he started to eat his lunch at 12:45. We need to find out when he finished eating. He finished 10 minutes after 12:45. So 5, 10. Okay. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay. So 10 minutes from the 9 puts him at 12:55. And basically adding 10 to 45. 45 plus 10 gives you 55. 12:55. Okay. All right. So that's it for telling time to 5 minutes. So until our next lesson, I will see you soon.